Hey guys, this is Swordsmaster here, and today I have a special guest.
Hey everyone, MasonEliwood here, and I'm pleased to meet ya.
Alright, so today we are, after a few technical difficulties, we are going to be doing a Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia tier list.
We figured this is the perfect time to do one since we recently got a Valentine's banner for Echoes, and any time's a good time to pick up the game. It's just really good. We both highly suggest it.
Yeah. So, I guess just how we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it all based on just, this is more of a how good the unit is perspective. So like, for example, I don't know how to describe it.
Viability, basically. And there's going to be no grinding because you can take any character in the game and grind them up to trivialize the entire game, but it doesn't mean that character is overpowered.
Yeah. Yep. You pretty much just said it all there. Thank you.
I was thinking about this a lot in advance.
Okay. I'm just winging it. Alright, so... So I think just like to start, we should decide on a character who's like good, just like average.
I guess in like, do you want to go left to right or just like go character by character? Because I'm fine with either.
Oh, okay, I guess I was thinking just, I don't quite know what to do here. Because I find it's a little bit harder to rate these characters and say, like, when you're playing Fire Emblem 6 or Fire Emblem 7. You know what? We're just gonna go hard. Let's start with Alm. Let's do our boy Alm.
Alright, where would you personally rank him?
I'd put him, like, either A or S.
I threw him straight in S on my list. It's all up to where you want to put him.
Alright, Whoa, okay. Computer. Stop being slow. Alright, S he is. That was
Alm
easy.
is super good. He can solo the game from the moment you get him. Doesn't matter what difficulty you're on. He's a beast for the entire game, no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Unless you get, like, mega screwed.
Yeah.
Even then, you have fountains and promotion-based stats and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you also get his Royal Sword and the Falchion. Although Royal Sword has, or is it Royal Blade?
Royal Sword.
Okay. Yeah, that just like gives him double line, which basically is a brave sword.
It's insanely powerful, and when he gets bows, he can pick up Hunter's Volley pretty easily, and that's also pretty similar to Double Line in the fact that it strikes twice and functions like a brave weapon.
Yeah, with a crit.
Exactly, with tons of crit, and he also has really good supports. He supports with Faye, supports with Claire. Has one with Celica that's a little more niche unless you're doing post-game, but it really applies in the final chapter.
Yeah.
And he also has hidden supports with Gray and Tobin.
Well, actually, he has hidden support with Celica because, like, they don't have any support conversations, but...
Oh, yeah, but the support bonus is massive for both of them. That's another thing worth noting that'll really help with the final chapter, and for those who want to do the Thave's Labyrinth.
Yeah, I love Thave's Labyrinth, I'm not gonna lie.
I did until my 3DS crashed like an hour and a half in because Milla's turn wheel caused the game to freeze.
What?
Only time it happened, but I'm still salty about that. Like, I was just playing normally once, used Milla's turn wheel in there, and I crashed and lost like 9 or 10 floors worth of progress.
That sucks.
I was playing super thoroughly too.
Yeah. Alright, who do you think we should go with next? Like...
At least, I'm pretty confident going left to right.
Okay. Cliff. Whoops. I would say he's jack of all trades, master of anything, but he takes a while to get going.
Yeah, Atlas, he has a case where he has really poor starting speed. He has great HP, but his base stats at that point on Celica's route, I would place him in D tier personally, just because
I was
you have to
talking about
invest
Cliff.
so much. Oh yeah,
Sorry.
my bad.
It's probably hard. It's
Alright,
probably
yeah,
hard
for
to
Cliff-
see.
All good. Yes, for Cliff, I would say I think he's a B tier unit just because even though he takes a while to get off the ground and he starts kind of weak, he does have excellent growth. So I think something like 60 speed, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, amazing speed. He's pretty good no matter what class you put him in, but I personally like Mage. I find having a Mage that early on Alm's route gives you a lot of necessary damage and a way to deal with all the terrain bonuses enemies get, since enemies in this game, or magic in this game, ignores evasion.
Right. Yeah. For me personally, I just put Cliff in whatever class and I make Tobin a mage because he gets Excalibur.
Oh yeah. For some reason, Tobin gets it earlier than all the other mages.
Yeah. Well, and he's... Yeah, like, he and Luthier are the only mages in Alm's route that get Excalibur, I want to say.
I didn't know if... I forgot if... I think Cliff gets it, but it's just later than them. But I still think it's at a level where it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Alright, so you say B tier?
I think Cliff's a B tier unit.
Alright. Yeah, because he can be...
Just because while he does have those issues, he's still like... You still have the entire game to work on him, and he still has a lot of potential.
Yeah. Whereas, Luthier... he's good when you initially get him. Like, he's helpful. But, like, I find once you get to part 4, he just, like, falls off completely. And he's just there for, like, extra healing when you promote him.
Gotta specifically invest hard in him, or grind just to make him useful there, so I personally put him in D. What do you think?
Yeah, D.
I like how it's just unanimous.
Yeah. In case anyone's wondering, this is, like, the bottom, the not applicable. Those are all the non-playable characters, so we won't be rating them.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Alright. Next, Paula.
Well, I'd put her, I believe, like, high A tier. I think she's a really good unit. Not as good as some of the best units in the game, but...
She's really tanky for a Pegasus Knight.
Yeah, that's the thing. She has a pretty high defense growth. I believe it's 45, and starts with really good base stats.
Must be them thighs. Yeah, I'd put her A. You know what? What about Katria? Just like since we're on the Pegasus Sisters.
I would put her in A right below Pala, because you can just support them both, and they both have great stats. Like, you can use them both if you want to.
Yeah.
It's just Lance, so it's a pretty limited weapon type unless you have Gradivis.
Yeah, I do like the combat arts that, the Lance skills give. Like, I know with the Iron Lance, you basically get, like, a javelin, but it's not. So that's useful.
Yeah, it is. It sucks that it's only player phase, but at least it's an option.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I find with the enemy phase and echoes, it's not until, like, the late game where you're fighting a bunch of mages and high level bow knights where like having a good enemy phase really matters.
And even then, oftentimes they have 3 ranged spells. They have bows that go up to 5 range. So if you want to counterattack, you usually need a bow user yourself.
Yeah. Bow paladin or bow knight, bow paladin. I've been playing Path of Radiance.
I think it's so cool in that game how you just choose the weapons the characters pick up.
Yes.
Such a good decision.
Yeah. Whereas in this game...
Sorry if I'm messing up my words today, I'm a little out of it.
No, it's okay. Yeah, whereas in this game, you can promote the villagers into whoever you want.
Oh yeah, and loop infinitely from Dreadfighter if you want. There's some shenanigans I've done with that. But it's more like a for fun thing on the side.
Yeah. Okay, Delthea. This is hard. Cause, she's like Cliff, but later. But,
How would you personally rank her?
If I'm being honest, she's basically like Lysithea or Lilina. Actually, I remember like when first using her, she could like, you know the map where you have like all those armored knights?
Yeah.
She can easily 2-round them with like a fire or like a seraphim or something like that.
And it's a really good way to get her experience.
Yeah. I mean, like, sure, you have to put investment into her, but she's definitely a lot better than her brother by far.
I feel like she specializes in multiple things if you decide to raise her.
I mean, yeah, she's got really good attack, so she can use a sword with a lot of power. She can use magic with a lot of damage. Yeah, she's also pretty fast too. She's tactical nuke. Am I right?
So, what would your placement for her be?
I want to put her with Cliff. Like B tier, mid B tier, low B tier. What do you think?
Put her in C, but it all depends on like where you think, what you would think. What do you think would be better for her, B or C?
I'll put her in C for now. But depending on like where we're ranking other characters and whatnot, it could change. So for now, we'll just put her in C, I guess.
We could always move these characters up or down later. We'll have to see later.
Alright, next character. Leon! The gay pretty boy archer.
I grew to like think of him as a much better unit after my last playthrough when I was doing a draft and I picked him as one of my units. I just had a hunch he would really help, and he definitely carried. What do you think? I threw my biased... I loaded my biased opinion on you really early. I'm sorry about that.
I mean, my first playthrough of Echo's Python got, like, a lot of resistance, so he like, took 5 damage from, like, from generic witches.
That's crazy. The
Or
res
7.
growths in this game are super bad, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah. But, he's good when he gets to be a sniper. It definitely helps increase his range. It's good in this game that archers can counter on enemy phase if they're in melee combat, which is really nice. They can also counter it 3 range spells, so like they can counter thunder. When they're bow knights, they can pretty much counter anything. Bow knights are good.
Amazing class.
Although compared to Cliff, I'd say he'd either be like for how I put Delthea, he'd be like low B, high C.
Okay, yeah. I put him in A on my list, but I don't mind moving him down to B or so. Okay. I think that's a good compromise.
Yeah. Alright, B it is. Yeah, because I don't know what it is, but I just had terrible luck with him. And usually when like picking my units for the Duma Tower, he never makes it on the list. It
does take a while to take off for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like, even as a bow knight, he can be useful, but yeah, I think, like, once I got to, like, the Duma Tower, I'd usually be bringing, like, the 3 Pegasus sisters and all of that, so.
I do really like his chip damage, though, especially since there's so many hard-hitting mage enemies on Celica's route, and he can just chip them safely.
Yeah. Speaking of,
he does have...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, speaking of mages, next we have Valbar, who gets destroyed by mages.
But he's indestructible to basically everything else.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it all depends on the pace you play at how good he'll be, because if you like to turtle and play slowly, he's going to be a god, but if you really like to advance with your Pegasus Knights, higher movement units, your mages, stuff like that, then he's going to be lagging behind, but I still think he's super useful for choke points and stuff like that.
Yeah, like, I know in Greece Citadel, what I'll do is I'll, like, send the Pegasus sisters off to the side, and then, like, have, Valbar and Sabre and Kamui just, like, all charging down. It's like, okay, we got the tanks,
it's so
let's go. Yeah, I think, I have always been, like, hit or miss with, like, Armored Knights. But, I'd say Valbar's, or just, like, all the armored units in this game, I think are, like, not total garbage.
Yeah, I think they're really good just because having high defense helps so much in this game.
Yeah, but, I think of all of them, I'd probably rate Valbar the lowest. But even then, like, that's not terrible because he's still useful, especially for Celica when you got all the squishy mages.
Oh yeah, they just kind of throw Sabre and Kamui at you to use, so like he does become a little less useful because of it.
Yeah, but even then, he's still useful. I'd probably put him in C.
I put him in A on my list, but I might be rating him too high, so I think either B or C is a good placement for him. That's how you feel.
I guess the one thing that holds him back is the fact that he can't double.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Because being able to take out enemies quickly in this game, the enemies get so scary, especially later on, so you want to try and take them out before they take you out.
And in Celica's route, like part 4, there's so many mages that I usually just like find him, just like I usually keep him out of the way so he doesn't get killed.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So he's good. The only map where I can really think of that he's good in part 4 is the summoner with all the demon dragons. Whatever, I forget what you call them.
I like just the necro dragons. I like using them to just draw in the creatures and have other units take them out.
Yeah, he's good against the necro dragons in part 4, but then like once you get to I can't think of it, but I know the boss on the map has not fissure, but it's the same area AoE attack as Duma.
Yeah, it's something that's like Earth themed or Death. I don't remember which.
Yeah, but I know that
I know exactly which one you're talking about now.
Yeah, Upheaval.
That one's rough for him. Yeah, Upheaval.
Yeah, Upheaval. Yeah, that map where you're going through the corridors and whatnot. There's so many mages in it that it's like, no, sending Valbar in there is just suicide.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I don't find him
so
that
useful. So do you think C is a fair placing for him?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I guess above Delthea, because he can take hits. She can't.
That'd be fair.
Yeah. You also get him earlier on.
Witches. You can bait in witches, but yeah, you're right about him being useful for longer.
Yeah. Alright, Tatianna.
She's part of 3 units I have. I have a tier where it says amazing, but they joined too late to accurately tier, so I'm trying to think of how to approach this.
Yeah, I just like from a general thing, I would put her in B because she gets Physic and Warp, and then she also has Pegasus Knights for her summon spell.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and I know she I want to say she automatically comes with Seraphim, so she doesn't have to rely on Nosferatu a lot to attack.
Oh yeah, she's really useful while you have her, but you only have her for so little of the game.
Yeah. But even then, like,
Do like B for her. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say low B.
Okay.
Yeah, she has good utility, she's got good healing. One fun thing I like to do with the healers is like if I get a Draco shield, I'll just put it on them.
Oh yeah, make them unkillable while they sap everything with Nosferatu.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I love all the meme strats this game has.
I know, it's fun. This game is fun. To be honest,
People, they rag on it for being linear, but even 5 playthroughs in or so, I still find new ways to play the game and have fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alright, next healer. Jenny! Automatic A. What do you say?
Fully agreed.
Below the Pegasus Knights. Or above? She doesn't get warp. She doesn't get rescue either, but she does get physic.
Also has Invoke, she has that spell that gets sort of monsters, I believe. Don't remember what it's called. But yeah, Physic is super useful in this game. Just having ranged, non-committal healing helps so much.
I'd probably put her below the Pegasus Knights.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, but she's good. Now I have this image in my mind of, going through Duma's tower and then just like Jenny getting attacked by all these monsters and taking plink 1-2 damage because she has a Draco shield.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, that's always fun. Alright, Zeke Ezekiel.
Alright, there you are, Ezekiel. I'm just finding him on my own list.
Okay. Yeah,
there he is.
Zeke. I feel like, at least from what I've heard, since I've never played Gaiden, he's, dropped in, like, you know, how powerful and potent he was in the game.
Oh, yeah.
But, I don't...
What do you mean, like, in the game? In FE1, or just from, like, before
in
the
Gaiden.
remake?
Gaiden compared to Echoes.
Oh yeah, I have no clue. I used him a bit in both, but I never... It's been a long time, so I don't remember accurately.
Yeah. I remember him, like, he could hit hard, especially if you gave him the Gradivis, because that helped him a lot. But,
It's a really nice filler unit if you don't have too powerful of an army and you need that slot.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say this, but, like, I would rate him higher than Clive.
Yeah, definitely. I fully agree.
So if we put, like, when we find you know what? Put him with Tatianna, like right here.
Fits
like,
perfectly.
Above Tatianna, but below Leon.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. Because, like, he's good. Yeah, he's good. He's not as good as Mathilda, but he's definitely a whole heck of a lot better than Clive. He can take, I want to say he can take a few more magic hits than Clive, and then his defense and his attack power is good, and he has, like, average speed, but it's not enough that doesn't hurt him.
Great pre-promote, and he helps out for while you have him, but he does have a few major weaknesses.
Yeah.
So since we just talked about Clive, how do you feel about him?
Either C or trash. He's good early on, but even, like, once you promote him to Gold Knight, assuming that's by, like, part 4, he's just gone. He's not worth... He's useful of being, like, another filler unit to help other units take out, like, a really powerful one. So, yeah, he's like Leon to me. Like, yeah, because, like,
it's Leon with a worse class. class.
Mason?
Eh.
Is Discord cutting
Did
out?
I cut out?
Yeah.
Hear me now.
Hearing you.
Let me check my settings.
Quality video, guys.
Testing.
Quality video.
Picking up my mic.
It seems to be picking up. Alright, we just lost Mason. Woo!
Alright, testing.
Quality video, am I right?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
About that, my connection is just it's D tier.
Connection's total trash.
Exactly. So for Clive, what I was saying was, so you think he's Leon with like a worse class, right? Would that be a fair assertion of him?
Oh, probably.
Because I feel like he could be. I think he's a C tier unit in this case, or a D tier unit. The main issue with him is that his stats, they don't lend well to his class line, because Mathilda, for example, she gets a ton of HP from her promotions and stats that she really needs, and then has great growths on top of that. But for Clive, he barely gets any stats from promotions because he excels the stats that Paladin and Gold Knight bump up.
Right. Yeah, and it's just like, I have like, now I'm having flashbacks to like the Fear Mountain Shrine, where I got so deep into the dungeon. So like, you know, I'm fighting like on the elevated ones. So there's like, you know, the lower floor and then some stairs, and then there's like the elevation and then enemies up top. Like those maps. And I just remember Clive getting doubled so much.
I did my draft run with FED, Dale, and Sam. What I did was I just cleared part 4 first, and then once the game prompts you to go to part 5, you can instead back out and go back to those locations and pick up all the treasure and extra stuff without any encounters. It's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, you just have to beat part 4 and then not go into the depths after that. Just like exit out and explore the world map.
And no enemies appear?
I think either that or limited enemy encounters. I don't fully remember.
I never knew that.
But yeah, it's much more peaceful going through Nui Baba's Manor and places like that.
Okay. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
anyone wants to avoid Fear Mountain in the future, there's your answer.
I think I'm still gonna go through Fear Mountain just to get all the goodies and like train a little bit before Nui Baba. I mean, that's what I like to do.
The thing is, it let me skip Nui Baba entirely and let me do everything else.
Okay.
Like, I never fought her or dealt with her. After, once in the last run. Like, I fought her and dealt with her before, but not in my previous run.
Okay. Yeah. Alright, so Clive C?
Yeah, I think that's fair at the bottom of C.
Yeah. Delphia above him. Yes!
And then Mathilda. So we just talked about her and how her promotion bonuses are amazing.
Yeah, I'd give her A.
Because she has low base HP.
I would give her
easy
automatic A. Like, well, what do you think?
I think top of A is fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she's really good. Her one main issue is that her class line is pretty limited with the lances, and if you have a mounted class, Bow Knight is just better because of the range, but Paladin is still pretty good, and there's still some really good lances, and lance combat arts just hit so hard.
Yeah. No, she's definitely good. She's very good. Alright, Claire.
Here I would put her... I'm gonna say A tier.
Yeah, just put her with the other Pegasus Knights.
Because the main thing that I believe brings her up is that she has a support with Alm, and it really benefits both of them a lot, and she's just a really good, basically, I guess, unit to give side missions to, like, kill enemies on the side while your other units are handling the main forces. She's really good at that.
Yeah. Flare utility is good, but I think just like my main issue with her is she still is in A. Just she, I want to say she has like, this is gonna sound weird. She has Shanna syndrome, where she has bad strength at the beginning, so it's like, oh, you think automatically she's a terrible unit, and it's like, yeah, she's a little hard to get going, but then it's like, after a couple levels or whatever, she's fine.
The thing is, that's what class promotions help so much with, and why I like them in Echoes, just because you can get screwed on a stat or have a unit with bad base stats, but it doesn't matter as long as they get into the class they need.
Yeah. And Falcon Knights in this game are good. They're not as OP as they were in Gaiden, but they're still pretty good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Would you say she's above or below Paula? I want to say she's above Paula.
I'd say above just because of the support with Alm.
Yeah, and also I find her, like, what's really useful in, like, the final chapter is that, unlike Paula, who's, like, taking a bunch of double hits to, like, the Moguls, Claire is probably doubling them, more than likely.
That was my experience last run.
Yeah. So, sure, Paula can, like, do some good damage, but, like, Claire can, like, double in probably one round if she gets, like, a lucky crit with a Gradivis.
Exactly, I think her damage output's better.
Mm-hmm, definitely. Alright, let's talk about Sonya and Dean.
Okay.
So, who's the better of the two of them? I'm gonna say Dean.
I'm not sure where I would put Dean, because I haven't used him in so long that I didn't feel confident ranking him. But I would probably put him in B or A tier.
Definitely B. Cause
do you think like high B for him and then low B for Sonya would be good?
Yeah, probably.
I agree with that.
Yeah, like Dean, I'm gonna put him below Cliff, but above Leon.
That's a fair placing.
And then Sonya, I'm gonna put her below Tatianna. Because, although Sonya does get some, like, I know, like, one spell that's really useful, and it's Rewarp.
She also gets Excalibur, and she has support with Jenny.
Yeah. Yeah, the support with Jenny is helpful. Excalibur is good. She comes with it right away when you get her.
He just has Dreadfighter privilege, so he's pretty good by default.
Yeah, pretty much. If you're a Dreadfighter in this game, you're automatically good.
Yeah, exactly. You have not only... Well, this doesn't really apply to the context of this tier list, because like we said, you can take any unit, grind them, and make them overpowered, but if you want to just go beyond and make a unit as crazy as possible, just take one of the mercenaries and loop them over and over until they cap their stats.
Yeah. Yep, I think that would work. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't really done that. I just, like, play the game casually, but
It's tedious, but it's a little fun to do once or twice.
Yeah. I have, grinded units to get to the, what is it? Like, the special classes?
Oh yeah, the overclasses.
Yeah.
Just as another heads up, this tier list does not factor in the DLC, just so that it's relevant to everyone's files.
Yeah, so like no DLC characters either.
Or pitchforks or boosters or anything like that.
Yeah.
Way too much to factor in, and it would exclude a large amount of the player base.
Especially those who weren't willing to pay the DLC, which apparently costs like $5 more than the game.
Yeah, for some reason, all the 3DS games just have egregious DLC prices.
It's weird, but I don't know.
I'm glad they're at least learning, though. Like, 25 is not a bad deal, especially for what's up next in Three Houses.
Yes.
I'm so pumped. This tier list is just me getting out, like, my Fire Emblem jitters before... just to hold me off until then. I want to play it so bad. It looks so good.
Yeah. I'm mostly focusing on Path of Radiance, so who knows if I'll play Cindered Shadows right away. I think
It's fun at least.
Yeah. No, it does, definitely. Alright, Conrad.
Let's say... What do you think about him?
Do you want personal opinions, or...?
Yeah, that's fine.
Most unpopular opinion, I like Conrad a lot.
His supports at Celica are nice. I think the main reason people don't like him is because
he's just
Celica had a more important role in Gaiden.
Yeah.
And he, like, sort of downplays what she's capable of.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I do like the fact, at least in Echoes, it's like, oh yeah, they're brother and sister, and there's like, it's like, okay, please don't
just out of nowhere.
No, not even that. It's more of like, okay, game, please do not like put any lines in the game that will make people want to incest ship them.
Oh god, I didn't even think about that.
That was my one main concern, and so when I saw their supports, I'm like, okay, this is so much better than Eric and Ephraim's supports.
Thing is, I like how they try to like make it ominous and hide that they're siblings, but they have the same color hair, and no other character in the game does.
Yeah. Even
so what do you think of him as a unit?
As a unit?
Yeah.
Well, if you don't promote Atlas to a Cavalier, he's the only Cavalier you get in Celica's route, not counting Leon, of course, but I'm talking about like Cavalier, not like, you know, the
I didn't think about that bit of trivia. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Never really like thought much about Cavaliers on Celica's path, but yeah, you could potentially have two if you wanted.
I feel like he's discount Mathilda.
Yeah, he really helps out while you have him. But
yeah, he has the potential to be good. I'm just trying to remember. He has decent stats, and he also has like really high growth rates to back that up.
Oh yeah, he comes at a great level for where he comes in at the game.
Yeah, and like when you go through the forest, you could just like go through there, promote him, and you got a Gold Knight for Celica's route, and it's pretty good.
He A supports Celica.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that actually improved my opinion of him. I'm actually thinking of him as an A tier or high B / low A unit. What do you think?
I'd probably put him in B, just because like he's not around enough. But
yeah, I think that's fair.
If you're like doing like, yeah, well, we're obviously not taking into account like Thabe's. Wait, are we taking account into Thabe's Labyrinth? I forget.
I think like it's fair to as a side note, but this is just for main game. But I don't know.
Yeah.
If there's two characters that we're debating on the placement of, and we don't know which one is better, then we could use that as a point.
Okay. I think like another thing that just adds on, he comes with a Blessed Lance, which is
super
nice.
Good item, especially for that point in the game.
Yeah, and I don't think he gets doubled, or he rarely gets doubled by moguls or anything, except for like dread
taking
fighters.
Up on monsters.
Yeah, so, and like his resistance isn't terrible, his defense is good. Like it's, yeah, maybe not as good as like say Valbar.
You have a much more mobile unit with more utility.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
I do think his being able to support Celica is huge.
Yeah. I'm gonna put him above Dean, below Cliff. Cause yeah, Dean has like access to the Dread Fighters, but I don't know. I guess just like Conrad being a mounted unit, or just being like one of the few Cavaliers in Celica's route, that I'd say that put him above a little.
It's weird for me to say, but I think Cavaliers are a lot better on Celica's route than on Alm's route. I think they're just much more geared towards the objectives there.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think? Should he be above Dean or, like, below?
I think above Dean is fair on the fact that he supports Celica alone.
Yeah. Dean only has, like, one support and is with Jesse.
Good luck getting both of them to work.
Yeah.
Pretty bad, but I still, I don't think he's completely terrible just because, hey, another Dread Fighter.
Yeah, Dean's definitely better than Jesse.
Agreed.
Yeah. Speaking
You
of
want to go through all the mercenaries now?
Yes. We'll do Jesse first. D.
What did you want to say about Dread Fighter? I cut you off earlier when you said something about Dread Fighters.
I forget if I was gonna say anything.
All good, I lose my train of thought all the time, too. I think he's a C-tier unit just because he has the ability to become a Dread Fighter. I think just that alone.
Yeah. And
but if you want him in D, I'm fine with that, too.
I'm gonna put him above Clive, because he's essentially like the quote-unquote Est. Well, other than Est. But
Est with a better class, probably.
yeah. Yeah. Even though you have to put like experience into him and whatnot. I haven't taken him to the tower, but he despite him being at a low level, he ends up being really good anyways. He's probably just
I've used him normally before.
Yeah. Of like all the Dread Fighters, he's definitely the weakest. But
that's the thing, they're all amazing.
Yeah, he's still good. Like if you put on, like, you know, if you trained it both him and Clive, he'd just like dead. You're dead, Clive.
Yeah, I think that warrants him being above Clive.
Yeah, maybe even above Delthea.
That's a good point. I think Delthea, she does specialize in baiting in witches and stuff like that, and she hits really hard. Like, she starts with the specialization and then has it for the entire game.
Yeah.
Whereas Jesse is less unique, and he's not as good right off the bat as Delthea can be if you throw her at the right enemies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think, like, just overall, well, no, they're about the same. I don't know. Would you put Jesse above or below Delthea?
I put him below, personally.
Okay, yeah.
Simply because the other Dread Fighter candidates exist. And then Delthea is kind of like a one-of-a-kind case in Alm's route.
Yeah. Actually, like, I've had times where I just, like, put her up to a Dread Fighter, and nuke him with Aura. She can one-hit KO a Dread Fighter.
Attack growth, it's insane.
It is. It's so good. Alright, next Dread Fighter. We'll save the best for last. So, Kamui.
Alright, Kamui. I would still put him in S on the merit of him being really good. I don't think he's as good as Sabre, growth-wise or anything else, but I think he's a definite S-tier unit still.
Yeah. I'm on the fence, though, because I'd put him, like, above Mathilda, but I don't quite know if I put him with Alm just because... then again, this is just me, but I've had, like... Really... I've had, Kamui, like, how do I put it? He gets strength screwed a lot for me. I don't know, or maybe he doesn't. And so, like, he comes close to killing something, but he can't quite.
I feel that just giving everyone a brave sword fixes that issue.
That's true. But
It's
even
up to
then,
you.
like...
Do you feel like he's a high A or a low S unit?
We'll put him to low S, I'd say. Well, no,
If it looks weird later, we can change it.
Yeah. Alright, best for last of the Dread Fighters. Sabre, automatic S.
Yeah, easily S. He has slightly better stats and growths than Kamui, comes a bit earlier. But they're both honestly amazing.
They're definitely the best two Dread Fighters. Although then again, like... I feel like I've also had the same problems with Sabre as I had with Kamui, of just like, you know, they both double, but they can't quite kill things.
Yeah.
But the fact that Sabre comes, like, you know, he's pretty much forced into your party. It's like the game's telling you, okay, take this character or you will regret it.
Exactly. Even the narrative pushes them really hard.
Yeah, so automatic S. Not as good as Alm, though. Alm could solo the game. Sabre couldn't. Alright, let's do Atlas.
Alright, sounds good.
Cause, I remember you saying earlier you'd put him in D.
Yeah.
But I've made him a Dread Fighter, and he ends up being like a tactical nuke.
So did that involve grinding, or was that from playing normally?
Probably a little bit of grinding. Like, you can automatically promote him. And so just like from there, just getting the mercenary speed boost helps him a lot.
Oh yeah, I think it's something like +5, +6, something crazy.
Yeah, as soon as you give him like that, he just like started doubling everything and one-shotting everything. Just like after, it's just like, I just went to a shrine, promoted him, came out, pew, 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 dead. Every last one of them.
So one thing worth noting is if you try to go to a shrine immediately, he will leave your party, but you can pick him back up again, go to the shrine, and he won't leave your party. He only does it once.
It's only the shrine that's north of the village. If you go to the shrine all the way back down to the dragon shrine, that's where I took him and Jesse to be promoted.
Oh, and I guess did he leave your party and you had to pick him back up?
Nope.
I know there's something like that with him that I did my last run.
It's only if you go to the shrine that's like really close to the Mila temple.
Yeah, that's the shrine.
Yeah, but if you go to any other shrine, like that's just south, it's fine.
Okay, so do you think next to Jesse is a fair placement, or do you want him higher or lower?
Well, I want to... Yeah, because Atlas is good because he has such good attack. But that's, like, his only saving grace. And so...
Say he at least specializes in having high attack.
Yeah, like Delthea. But Delthea can double. Whereas Atlas,
she has magic.
Whereas with Atlas, if you want him to double, you need to turn him into a Dread Fighter. Whereas, like, in any other class, it's meh. I mean, like, unless you want a one-hit nuking mage, because I think he gets Sagittae.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'd probably
I'm actually thinking, do you think below Clive is fair? Or, like, somewhere in D?
I wouldn't go so far as to put him in D. But then again, if you're like someone who's like super OCD about like how many days it takes for each moon or whatever, then maybe like he wouldn't be good for like a speed run.
Yeah.
But even then, I'd actually put him above Clive.
This tier list that's not for speedrunning or low turn count. It's just like playing normally, but not taking grinding into account.
Yeah, because like I'll put him like below Jesse. I'd say he's on par with Jesse if you make him a Dread Fighter.
You want him above or below Jesse?
I'd say the same. Okay. I don't think it matters. I'd say they're like universally changeable. Only if you make him a Dread Fighter. Every other class, no.
Just because that speed boost is so helpful for him.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. I think in my first run, I gave him like the golden dagger. before I like discovered that you could turn it into the beloved Sophia.
I thought that was such a funny, just subtle twist.
Yeah, so you have like the golden dagger at like its max forge, and then I just put it on him, and he's like nuking everything. He's 2-hit KOing everything pretty much.
Sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, it is. But even as a mercenary, it's like he feels more like a Myrmidon with the attack power.
That speed boost and the attack.
He also starts at level 10.
Oh yeah.
So he's really high villager, really high level for a villager. Yeah.
And then, how do you feel about Est?
She's not as good as her sisters.
Yeah, for sure. She, in Est fashion, takes a lot more to get off the ground.
Yeah, and even then, I think Est in this game is at her worst.
Yeah, I can agree with that one.
I'm gonna... Excuse me. What do you think? Above Clyde, but below Atlas?
I think she's a solid C-tier unit.
Yeah. I'm gonna put her, like... I'd say above Clyde. Because at least she can do something to monsters.
And she has the support bonus with her sisters, and you can use all three for sure.
And triangle attack.
Yeah.
It's always fun. Triangle attack is like the most fun combat art in the game.
We used it on Duma. I'm curious on how good it'd work there, or how well it'd work.
I don't know if I've used it on Duma. I don't think I have.
Super annoying to take down, so I think it's worth mentioning for him if it works well for him.
Okay. Yeah. It might be useful, but I'm not entirely sure.
For Jeddah, because you can only attack him once every 4 combat phases and hit him.
Or you could double Lion or send scale Jeddah with Alm.
Oh yeah, Alm just trivializes this game and Gaiden.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. Do you want to touch on Silk?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Or Thilk? She's not actually thick though, because in her Valentine's art it's like, oh yeah, she actually doesn't have a booty, so I think it's her dress.
I haven't really looked at the art that much. I gotta though, because it's all the new art for heroes is blessed.
Alright, Silk. A tier? S tier?
I think that's fair. Yeah, I'd put her like low end of A, but not bottom A. I guess bottom A for now because we don't have all the people ranked.
Yeah. I'm gonna put her above Jenny.
Okay.
Yeah, because you get her, she's the first healer in the game. Actually, now that I think about it, I want to say Mecha rated Silk as being like one of the top 15 best units in Fire Emblem. But then again, this was like, I think this was Gaiden Silk.
I don't remember the differences fully. It's been many years since I played Gaiden.
I haven't played Gaiden.
I think 2013 was the last time I played it.
I tried playing Gaiden. Didn't want to. Too slow, too clunky. Just... I couldn't.
Especially compared to its remake.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Silk... She gets Warp. Does she get Physic? No, she doesn't get Physic.
It's hard to say whether... I think Jenny is better than her, but what's your call?
Maybe I'm gonna put her above Jenny.
Okay.
But I think like near the end of the game, Jenny's more useful.
But yeah, because of Expel and Physic, they're just so useful.
Yeah, but Warp is always good.
But Warp also Yeah, warp helps you a lot with the annoying map design, and you can also skip Rudolph's map and just defeat him and not have to deal with it.
Yeah. Or do double warp. Silk and Tatianna.
Oh yeah, there's some crazy strats with that.
Yeah. Alright, speaking of everyone's other favorite healer but not healer, bow user but not bow user, Faye. If she's a healer, she's good, but I don't think
she's like... I think healer or Pegasus Knight are the best classes when it comes to ranking her peak performance.
I wouldn't even say Pegasus Knight, not for me at least.
But yeah, healer. I think it's her best class, but I think Pegasus Knight is worth mentioning.
Yeah, Pegasus Knight is good, but I find that even then she's like outclassed by like Claire, even Est.
That's fair.
Probably even Est. If like, not gonna lie, I feel like Est would even outclass her as a Falcon Knight. So I'd say healer is definitely the best for her.
Where would you rank her as a healer?
Below Jenny, but I put her in A for sure.
I think that's fair. I think Physic and Rescue are just so useful.
Oh wait, she also gets, well, it drains like 14 HP or whatever, but she basically gets Dance.
Yeah, I believe all the healers do though.
I don't think so. I think it's just Faye.
I'll have to look at the spell list real quick and confirm.
Okay.
Because I think Tatianna might also get it.
I don't think she does. Because I know Faye can get it, but it's like at a really, really low level. Or a really late level, I should say.
Yeah, you're right. Faye is the only one with a new. I was wrong. Level 14, I'm like, oh, Saints can learn it.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah, she's the only unit in the game that gets Dance, but you get it really late at level 14 at her highest class, not counting overclass.
Yeah. I put her below Jenny. Rescue is useful. Having 2 healers on Alm's route, especially Physic, is really useful.
Yeah, because that's the only Physic you can get.
Tatianna.
Oh, right, my bad.
Yeah.
Forgetting again.
It's okay.
I was using a draft run, and I wasn't allowed to use her, so I just, like, completely blocked off everyone I wasn't allowed to use for my mind. Okay. So that's messing with me a bit here.
That's okay. Yeah, I would definitely put, I'd put Faye in high A. Or not high, low. What am I saying? Ah! Alright, Alright, Gray. Let's do Gray next. Mason? And we lost Mason again. Woohoo! Quality video.
I can hear you a bit now. You're cutting in and out.
Oh, I'm cutting in and out?
No, I can hear you. I just had to close Discord.
See, guys? Quality video.
Oh, God. You're cutting in and out so as well.
Oh, I'm cutting in and out too?
So let's go for Luke Forsyth.
You want to do Forsyth? Oh dear. Oh dear. Mason?
I can hear you. I hear you at the end of your sentences, but not like the middle.
Oh, okay. Should I
hear
like...
you.
Alright, you can hear me now? Huh. You good? Oh. Well, this is,
For Lucas and Forsyth, do you want to start with those?
Yeah. Yeah. Who's better, Lucas or Forsyth? Or are they about the same for you?
Alright, so what do you think of Lucas?
Did you hear what I just said? Sorry.
Oh, you're cutting out. I see the icon is green though.
Okay. Weird. I don't know. Yay. Alright,
You can just edit this out.
I guess. Or I probably won't. Who knows? I probably won't. Okay.
Just know that I don't have the best internet, and we live, I think, quite a distance from each other, so...
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's all good, though.
Yay!
For Lucas.
Lucas or Forsyth?
For the third or fourth time.
Who... Would you say they're about even? Or...
Yes, I think that's a very fair assessment. I put them... In my personal list, I'd put them right next to each other.
Yeah. I want to say, like, personal bias... I would put Lucas just, like, a little bit above Forsyth, but just a little bit.
I feel the exact way.
Yeah, especially since you get him earlier on, so that helps.
He's a little tankier as a Baron, or any classes that they're in together.
Yeah. What do you think? Like, low B, mid B?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I would put him, personally... mid-low B.
Okay. Above Sonya or below?
Above Sonya.
Okay. But probably not... Above Zeke, maybe?
Actually, yeah, because you get to use them for so long, and they're so helpful for so much of the game.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna put him above Leon, maybe. Or... Well, Leon has 1-2 range. They don't. But they can take hits.
Leon's also the only archer on Celica's route, unless you make Atlas 1. And like we said earlier, the mercenary class line just helps so much with the speed.
Yeah. Would you put him above or below Leon and Dean?
Below Leon. But my answer is biased. I said below Leon, but my answer is biased.
No, I'm thinking below Leon as well, actually. Yeah.
I think they stay relevant for the entire game because having someone who can tank Dread Fighters and monsters later is really helpful, and Gold Knights as well.
Yeah, but in late game, they just get torn to shreds by mages.
Oh yeah, exactly. And there's so many. But I still think throughout the entire game you'll find a use for them.
Speaking of mages and red and green pairings, let's do Bowie and May.
Yeah, sounds perfect.
Alright, where would you put them?
Would put May in my own personal list. Like, my S tier is huge because I tend to highly rate units in general, so I'm thinking like going below that, somewhere in A tier.
Okay. I'd put her like low A.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm biased for her as well because she has a low skill growth, but that's a good thing because skill doesn't matter on her.
Yeah,
until
especially
she gets
magic.
swords, and even then their hit rate is so high.
Yeah, and just it doesn't matter with magic.
Exactly. I think her stats just complement her really well for this type of game. And she supports Celica, and she's the earliest unit you get that supports Celica, and she also supports Bowie.
Yeah. Yeah, she has some good spells, like, yeah, she gets Seraphim, she gets Aura, which is, like, really heavy, but, if May gets, like, enough magic, she's probably just gonna one-round KO with an Aura.
She's kind of like Lysithea in that she's either going to one-shot something, or she's gonna double and finish it.
She also gets
almost
Thunder.
all the time.
She also gets Thunder. Like, she
Range.
starts off with Thunder, and that is so useful.
I'm thinking right next to the Pegasus sisters. Would that be a good placement?
Pegasus sisters? Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
below or above them?
Below.
Okay.
Alright, and then Bowie.
I think he's also an A tier unit. Just
Really?
because he's the tankiest mage you get by a lot. Yeah, 45 defense growth, really high HP. Support with May helps a lot.
Yeah. I mean, the magic is useful. He does get Excalibur. He can get, like, pretty... He gets Sagittae as well, I want to say. But that's, like, really late.
Like, A might be a bit high, but I'm looking at the units in B right now, and I think Bowie's just better than all of them. What do you think?
I want to say that... Just trying to think. I'm gonna put him... below... I'm gonna put him in high B, below Cliff.
That's fair.
Just because, like, you both get them at the same time. You probably class Cliff into a mate. So, like, say, just, like, hypothetically, you class... Well, actually, it doesn't even matter. You just, like, get them both, like, at the same time. You know, like, on the... You both get them at the very beginning. And, like, Bowie is useful very much in the beginning. But Cliff just excels really quickly. So, like, once you promote Cliff, he's just all set.
I think that's a fair argument, because he scales really well into the late game.
Yeah, and Bowie just, like, falls behind, like... He starts dropping off, like, once you get to Grease Citadel.
I do like using him as a tank at that point, just like with a shield.
Yeah. But even then, like with the really hard hit, like, you do not want to put him up against a Dread Fighter. Even with a shield.
Yeah, especially since magic just drains your health further. Yeah.
So he's more of, yeah, he's average, but you get him early on, and that's helpful. And
his main saving grace is his support with May.
Yeah, like, he just supports May. He's a support bot for May. He also has, like, I want to say he has, like, hidden or, like, bond support. I'm gonna call them bond supports because you don't get support conversations with them, but they're still supports.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, like, he has bond supports with, I want to say, all three of the girls. You know,
remember
Celica,
if he does,
May,
but
Jenny.
If he does, that's helpful.
Yeah, I think they do. I think they all, like, support with each other. I could be wrong, but I know for sure he has supports with Alm and Celica. Or not Alm. Celica and May. Dang it.
I don't know if he has supports with Celica. Maybe a hidden one.
Yeah. No, definitely a hidden one.
Yeah, with May, she's just... If you have her supports with Bowie and Celica at the same time, she can be a complete monster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then again, I could be wrong with the supports that Bowie gives to Celica.
That could be as well.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
just
this
like...
is accurate. Then we're good to go.
Yeah. But even then, just like... He's good for what he's worth, but by the time you get to part 4, he's like... bad. Or not bad, but like... definitely better than Luthier.
Yeah.
Definitely better.
But not as useful as he was when he joined.
No. Yeah. Alright,
We're on the topic of Celica. Should we rank Celica now?
yeah, I honestly don't know where to put her.
I think either low S or high A.
It's a toughie.
She's
Because-
like May, but with better growths and more supports.
Yeah, she's definitely not Alm and Sabre level. I'm
I
gonna
think
put...
top of A is fair.
Yeah, top of A. one thing I want to add. So you know how, like, in Three Houses with the turn wheel, if you get, like, a character that dies and it makes you go to, like, the turn wheel or the divine pulse or
Lords
whatever.
in this game. If Lords die in Echoes, then you can't
Yeah.
rewind.
And so it's like, I don't know if I'd want to put her above Kamui, just because, it's like, she has a good list of spells. She's easily the best mage in the game, by far. She has her own personal weapon. She has her own personal combat art. Yeah, okay. Yeah, she's okay, just like listing all that out. She can't take a hit, though. That's
I have a great and well thought out rebuttal to that.
Okay.
Dread Fighter. It's my rebuttal. Just it's such a good class.
Yeah, okay.
So it's hard to say.
I'm putting her below Kamui.
Agree.
Maybe even below Mathilda? No. I don't think. No.
I just think Paladin is too limiting of a class line. And Celica, she has the bonus of starting with swords, so you can throw on a Brave Sword or a Lady Sword and she'll hit really hard.
Or when you get the...
Or even a Blessed Sword.
Yeah, Blessed Sword is good. Giving her the Blessed Sword. Getting the Beloved Zofia is nice because she can get Swap, which is a nice repositional.
As well as the stronger version of Ragnarok.
Yes, Ragnarok Omega, but that's a combat art, and she has to be in one range in order to use it.
It uses so much HP, but it's still something she has that nobody else does.
Yeah. I
think it's a slight positive, but not a negative.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely A. Alright, Gray. Where would you put Gray?
I think top of A or low S. I don't know exactly where I'd put him.
I would put him... For me personally, so his only good class seems to be that of, like, the Dread Fighter.
Oh, yeah.
But, even with the Dread Fighter class, I actually found him getting doubled by, like, other Dread Fighters on hard.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so either I got screwed, or, or it just, like... Yeah, because, yeah, I find that he doesn't level up speed a whole lot, even as a Dread Fighter.
Do you think below Mathilda would be a fair placing for him?
Yeah. Because Mathilda stays consistently good. Gray is, like, I find him to be, like, yeah. I want to say, like, of all the villagers, or of, yeah, pretty much of, like, all the villagers, Cliff is the only one that... Cliff and Faye, even, like, stay the most relevant.
I can agree on that.
Yeah. I guess Atlas, if you make him, like, a mercenary. But, like, Gray and Tobin, I find them just dropping off by part 4. Maybe Gray, like, not as fast as Tobin, but even then.
Still use Gray for the entire game, but by the time you get to Act 5, it's going to be a bit rough. But by that time, you also have some amazing units to pick up the slack, so I don't think it's too big a deal.
Yeah. I'll put him, like... I want to put him with May.
Above or below May?
Above May.
Okay.
Yeah. How's that sound?
I think it sounds good, but I think May stays good for longer, but she's not as durable.
Yeah, Gray is durable. He can take hits. He can be on the front lines. For sure.
With May, you need both terrain and supports to really make use of her that way.
Actually, you know what? No, below Mathilda. Yeah, what you said earlier. Below Mathilda, but above the Pegasus girls.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. Okay, Tobin. Shut up, Tobin.
Oh, I love this game's line so much.
I like Three Houses' dialogue, but Echo's presentation is so much better.
So good. I think it's so funny that we have a 3DS game that runs at 60 FPS and then Three Houses like chugs at 30.
Sorry, that probably sounded like there is too much saliva.
No, I thought it was great.
Alright, Tobin. I would put him below Bowie.
I think that's a really good placing for him.
Huh? Good placing?
I think that's a really good placing for him.
Okay. Yeah, because... So, what do you usually like to make Tobin as?
I like to experiment. I've made him different things just because I don't know what works best, but I think the best that I've had him as is a mage.
Same. Yeah. No, did you ever see, like, a video that, like, Mangs did, like, the Guide Unabridged? Where he made he made Tobin a mage for that. And he was like, when he got Excalibur, I'm like, okay, when I do Gaiden, or when I do Echoes, I'm making Tobin a mage.
I think either mage or bow knight, you can't really go wrong with those class options, or archer, I mean.
Yeah. I want to say, like, with bow knight, he gets outclassed by Python.
Yeah, I think you could make a better argument for mage, especially since skill and hit rate are less relevant for that class.
Yeah. I could be wrong, but I want to say he gets physic. I could be wrong.
I can check that real quick. I just need to reopen the spell list.
Okay. I know
he gets physic, yes, at Sage level 5. Oh my god.
What?
Level 6 Excalibur, and then physic as a Sage, yeah. He's better than I thought. I forgot he got physic.
Yeah, it's as a Sage, but even then, like, that, he'll be getting that, like, by, part 4. And so even with, like, his combat, like, dropping off as a mage, he's probably going to be getting physic.
Support utility.
Yeah, he's giving support, just, like, support bonuses, and also physic around that time. So he's still relevant.
Yeah, and you can still use him to chip at enemies with his magic. I think that's still really useful to have.
Yeah.
Especially with Excalibur.
Yeah, Excalibur is so accurate. It's nice.
Speaking of mages, Noma.
Yeah.
What do you think of Noma?
Hold on. So I just put Tobin right below Bowie, above Conrad. Does that work for you?
That's where I'd place him as well.
Okay. Alright, Noma. I put him...
And then Noma next. Where would you want to place him?
Yeah, above Luthier, but not in C. What do you think? Okay, more problems.
I can hear you now.
Okay, you can hear me now? Alright.
I was in the background because I was curious what's going on, and I think that's what caused me to cut out.
Oh, was like putting a web browser in the background or something?
But just like looking at having Discord open and looking at a server and its general chat to like catch up.
Oh. Alright.
So yeah, problem fixed now. I'm sorry.
Problem solved. Alright, Noma. Did you hear what I said about him?
Not at all, I'm sorry.
Okay. Noma, I would put him above Luthier, and that's it. He's in D.
Personally, because he supports Celica, and I forgot who else he supports.
In my,
and I think he has good bases, but I don't know, that much worse, a tier worse than Clive. I don't know if I'd put him down there.
okay.
Bottom of? Do you think bottom of Seasphere, or are you adamant about D?
I'm a little bit adamant about D, just because, like, every time I get him, and I field him, he, like, does nothing.
So I think, yeah, top of D is fair.
Okay, come on, let me put him there. There, okay. My computer was not willing to cooperate.
His support with Celica and getting Excalibur are worth mentioning, but his stats are pretty bad at that point.
Yeah. No, like I said, it's like when I field him, I just remember, like, you know, when I finally get the chance to field him, or when I do, he's just healing. That's all he does. That's all he's gonna be doing is healing. Just
still waiting for the day I see him double something.
Dreadfighter Noma.
Oh, just pitchforking. Make him the ultimate old man.
Just like Myson. Oh,
just
Myson.
Myson with more facial hair.
Yeah. Where would you put Myson?
It's a tough call because you get him so late in the game, but he's so good.
I'm gonna put him, like, above Est.
I think that's fair. I'm looking for Est's placement right now.
Okay. Alright, we have one more character left, and that's Python.
Python
is probably my favorite archer in all of Fire Emblem. Probably.
It's the only character I put in unsure because I really am unsure with Python.
Okay. So
I will take your word.
Well, it's more of like, I just like his supports. He's a very down-to-earth character. Sure, he seems very apathetic, but he's... I don't know. I like him.
I mean, just because a character is relatable in a bad way doesn't make them bad at all. I relate with some of his apathy and laziness, and I don't like admitting it, but it is what it is. Oh, sorry about that. We lost a lot of our footage, and we decided to start again with Python and discuss him.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts with Python?
Yeah. Oh, thankfully he was the last character we were doing anyway, so...
Could have lost way more progress.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so with Python, we put him in mid-B tier, just above Leon. And Mason, I think, what was it you said earlier? Something about Python, like, being more suited for Alm's route? Was that it?
Yeah, so for Celica's route, while Leon is really nice for chip damage and he does support Valvar, I feel like Alm's maps are much more suited for Python and definitely need an archer more. There's a lot of annoying mages and Bow Knights positioned next to mages that Python can really help take care of.
Yeah, and also, something else, just like from more personal experience, I guess, usually by the end game, I always find Python to be just like a lot more useful, a lot more reliable than Leon is. Sure, Leon is great as a Bow Knight and has the nice mount, the nice range, and all that, but I find him performance-wise to not always be
a little shaky.
Yeah, he's a little shaky, whereas, like, I don't know, I find Python to be shaky in the beginning, but then by the end, he tends to be a bit better. And Hunter's
once he takes off, he definitely takes off.
Oh yeah, and he's always useful in Rudolph's map because he can just like snipe the enemies that are like up really high. He can just get at them when no one else really can.
I'm just gonna say Alm's route really loves its rivers, mountains, and forts, so it's perfect for an archer. So Python really comes into play there.
Yeah, whereas with Celica's route,
There's
especially
way
in
too
part
much swarming
4,
at once sometimes.
yeah, swamps, sand. Although in the sand maps, Leon isn't really promoted then, but in the swamps, it's a little bit more difficult. But if we were just to put them, say they're both on Alm's route, I would say Python would outperform Leon a lot better.
Personally prefer Leon, but I agree with his placing here.
All right.
There's the tier list.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'd say it looks pretty good.
Where can people find you on other platforms? I would say just subscribe, right?
Yeah. I don't really have any other platforms. Like, well, I guess I do, but they are they're not made
more personal.
Yeah, they're a bit more personal. They're
you
not.
guys would like to. Oh, go
sorry.
ahead.
No.
I was just gonna plug myself.
All right. Well, with Twitch, you got Twitch, you got YouTube.
Twitch.tv/MasonEliwood, YouTube.com/MasonEliwood, Twitter.com/MasonEliwood. See you guys there.
All right, and I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please go check out MasonEliwood. He's really great. Thank you for coming and helping me with this tier list. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I had tons of fun, and as disjointed as the second part was, it was still a blast to be able to discuss and rank these units, because I feel more confident in this co-op tier list than I do in my own personal one. It feels really nice to get a second opinion and discuss a lot of this and like help move units into different places.
I agree. It definitely doing this with at least like one other person, having that discussion makes it feel like I don't know, but it's good to have other people's inputs and opinions.
If you guys ever get the opportunity, please collab on a tier list or make a tier list with some other people. It's great fun. Highly recommend it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all for watching, guys, and we hope you have a good night.